Superman εδώ πέρα προσπαθούσαν να το κάνουν να έχει βάθος, να έχει βάθος χαρακτήρας, δεν το πετύχανε. Πάντως μου άρεσαν πάνω οι μάχες δηλαδή, ήταν πολύ ωραίες. Αλλά ένα που δεν μου έκανε εντύπωση ότι εκεί ήταν χαμός, μάχες, ξύλο, καταστροφή, παντού, χαμός ρε παιδιά. Και το κακό είναι ότι δεν ένιωθα κάτι ότι οι άνθρωποι πεθαίνανε, δεν στεναχωριόμουν, ήταν πιο πολύ σαν πίσανος παιχνιδιού ήταν πιο πολύ.
Maybe there's a light, maybe there's a hope. Maybe Ben Affleck would be the best Batman. Yes, for the first time, I feel there is a hope about this franchise. Maybe he's gonna be the best Batman of all time. He's gonna kick his ass so much. Or otherwise, he's gonna be the worst Batman actor of all the time. And if he sucks, if he's damn fucking sucks, I will crucify him personally. Daredevil, which Ben Affleck was the Daredevil. Well, that movie was mediocre. The good things were actually Ben Affleck was a good actor there. Marvel versus DC. This is gonna be very, very interesting. Since both of these movies are versus, I am going to do a review of both of them, and I'm going to decide who's gonna be the winner.
And I don't believe what I'm about to say, but Man of Steel also took inspiration from Superman Lives, when Superman in Lives was going to be dubbed before flying. Well, I have to say, Man of Steel took some inspiration in Superman Lives. That's pretty impressive.
Let's hope that Ben Affleck does his job very well in Batman vs Superman.
Well guys, I'm here to watch Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice. Well, let's hope that this movie is good or a huge improvement over Man of Steel. Well, the only way to find out is to go there and watch the movie. Well guys, let's see you in the review.
I've watched Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice. But before that, let me tell you something. 3 years ago, I reviewed my first movie review, Man of Steel. I've put it 5.5 out of 10. It had potential, but execution was horrible, etc, etc. My video got 7 likes and 6 dislikes, probably because I didn't explain very properly, and since I was a teenager and 60 years old, so I couldn't really go to the full details. Maybe that was the reason. But anyway, 3 years have passed since then. Zack Snyder could have improved the movie a lot with its visuals, story, characters, etc. he could have done a much more better job. But my opinion of Man of Steel still hasn't changed. I still consider it a mediocre movie. But I would prefer to watch Man of Steel rather than Batman v Superman. Yes guys, Batman v Superman is worse than Man of Steel. And I'm gonna tell you why. But let's begin with the plot. The plot of the movie begins with the death of Bruce Wayne family. Classic. We've seen it a million times before, but I get the idea. Since this is a new Batman we're going to introduce, we're gonna have to show them again the death of the family. And then we move back at the events of Man of Steel by Bruce Wayne perspective. We see some 9/11 imagery, and then we see Ben Affleck, meaning Batman, try his best to save all the civilians there. He didn't make it, with the exception of a very few people, and he saw what Superman and the other Kryptonians could do, and he said 80 months later, I'm gonna go out from my retirement and I'm gonna fight them because I'm Batman. While Alexander Lex Luthor, he tries to manipulate them into fighting each other. And that is all what you need to know about the plot. But before we go to the plot in full details, let's do the positive aspect first of all. Ben Affleck. I'm gonna admit it guys, I was also one of the guys who thought that Ben Affleck wasn't fit for the Batman because of his experience as Daredevil. And you know what guys? This is the year where some of the actors who played a superhero role before in this year, they redeemed themselves. Like Ryan from Deadpool, Ben Affleck redeemed himself. And not only did he redeem himself, he is by far one of the best Batmans ever, beating Christian Bale, Michael Keaton and Adam West. He beat them, all of them. And I'm not kidding. He's cruel. He fights criminals really hard, and he kills some of them. Because he's an older Batman, he saw some bad shit, especially in the death of the family, thanks to the Easter eggs that confirms it. And there are some pretty good Easter eggs, especially some of them are inspired from The Dark Knight Returns, which was written by Frank Miller, before he went cuckoo and nuts in the later sequels. But enough about that. I also have read Ben Affleck. Before he began his shooting for the Batman, he was dressing as Batman and wrote the script, rewrote it in details as best as possible because he didn't like it. He tried his best, and that is dedication, pure dedication, I'm gonna say. And the reason why he chose Batman is because, one, he liked the concept that Zack Snyder showed him, and he wanted to learn how to direct a bigger scale movies. That's kinda questionable. If you want good visuals and good action, yes, Zack Snyder is perfect for this. But if you want him to teach you how to direct a better story and characters, yes, he's not really that kind of a guy that you want to talk about it. But I get the idea. And I'm gonna say, I like the costume, I like the fight scenes that Batman is here, and they are very well choreographed. It's like I'm watching the Arkham games, breaking to life in a cinema. And this is very awesome. And I like Wonder Woman inside, Gal Gadot. And I didn't really knew about the actress herself. I thought she played one of the Fast and Furious film. But now that I see her in the film, she's pretty good for what she is. But unfortunately, she was just an extended cameo. But nonetheless, I like her, and I can't wait to see her in the Wonder Woman 2070. I like that they tried to develop Superman, and they didn't do a bad job here. And I like that now the Lois Lane and Clark Kent relationship are now a little bit stronger here. And the fight scene with Batman and Superman are fighting each other, it's purely amazing. It's like I'm watching Injustice Gone Among Us, but so much better. So yes guys, the action and the visual are pretty impressive, and the characters are awesome. And Jeremy Irons as Alfred, he's amazing. Ben Affleck and Jeremy Irons have good chemistry as Batman and Alfred. They're pretty good. And thankfully Ben Affleck is gonna direct, write, produce, and starring in his Batman movie. And I'm looking forward to it. And this is where I stop saying about positive stuff. Now let's move to the negative. Let's begin with Lex Luthor. Alexander Lex Luthor. He was one of the worst Lex Luthor to date. He was over the top, he was trying to be witty and funny in a very cartoony way as best as possible. His reason of why he does all of this makes no sense. Why does he do it? Because he hates Superman, he hates Batman. It's so convoluted. And not only that, he's trying to impersonate Joker? What the fuck? Seriously? Am I supposed to be afraid of that kid? And Jace the actor himself is not bad. I see his Social Networking movie. He was amazing in that movie, but he was too young to play this character, Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is supposed to be a very menacing character, a very intelligent and serious character. You're supposed to be afraid of him because he can be dangerous. But when I see Jace play Lex Luthor, I don't feel afraid of him. I just want to slap this guy to his face and say, behave yourself, you motherfucker. Behave yourself. Or there is no dinner for you. Or, especially, there is no cake for you. Yeah, that's how bad he is. And I can't stand to him. And the music that Hans Zimmer has done, it's terrible. It's just loud voice. Boom, boom, boom. That's not good music, man. That's terrible music. And the pacing of a movie is bad. Where you just like a scene in the movie, pop, go to the next scene. And when you try to adjust to the scene, pop, go to the next scene. Lame editing at its finest. And unfortunately, as for the plot of the movie, yeah, I do get the idea that they try to establish DC Extended Universe. And they try to talk about Superman's action that he did in The Man of Steel. I like the ideas and what they try to do, meaning that the war is split into two sides. One loves Superman, one hates Superman. But it's done very poorly. It didn't really explain the humanity very well. It is focused less, and they try to give so much focus to Batman, and they try as best to humanize Superman as best as possible, but they cram too many side stories into a one movie, a 2.5-hour movie. And it's all over the place. They don't really focus a lot into the characters and the events. They just go there, go to the next place. Okay, we finished there. Let's go to the next place. And the nightmare sequence that Batman has, they're pretty good, I will admit it. But one scene, nightmare scene, that the newcomers, if they didn't read the comic book, they won't understand it. I understand that nightmare sequence, what is going on, and I can see it, why, but since the others are not gonna understand it, it's kind of pointless right now. And it kind of foreshadows the Justice League. And for the Justice League cameo scenes, this is the Dawn of Justice, because this is supposed to be a prequel of Justice League. They just show the Justice League in the most lazy way as possible. Okay, because I can't really spoil the movie without giving some spoilers, I have to review it. And since if you see the spoiler letter and the minutes of which you can skip to the spoiler free, you can either mute the video or skip to the next part, okay? Because I'm gonna go to some heavy spoilers. Here we go. So, Bruce Wayne, tried to hack to the Lex Luthor, and he took some data, and then he showed to the Wonder Woman. And then we see some of the clips of the Justice League, meaning the Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman. It is shown in the most lazy way as possible, just to say, phew, here they are the Justice League character. Here's Flash, here's Cyborg, here's Aquaman. See them? Wait for their upcoming movies, which are gonna be much more later. But don't worry, you're gonna see them in Justice League the next year, without getting to know their characters, so it just kinda feels very pointless. And yep, and don't talk about a Doomsday. Seriously, Doomsday. It was another bad thing in the movie. Lex Luthor created Doomsday by taking the dead body of General Zod and add his own blood, and he put on one of the Kryptonian seeds to create Doomsday. It was poorly explained, and David S. Goyer, he has some good ideas and some bad ideas, but his execution is terrible. Even Chris Terrio, who is a very good writer in Argo, he couldn't even salvage it. He tried to do some good things in the movie, but no. And the CGI in Doomsday, it was atrocious. It was like I was watching a PlayStation 2 final boss. That's how bad the CGI was. And one other thing that bothered me, that despite that Lois Lane is kinda improved in this movie, but unfortunately, after the fight with Batman v Superman, as long as she threw the spear that the Kryptonite had on the water, which Superman and the others would have needed to defeat the Doomsday. And she tried to receive it back. Lois Lane tried to receive it back, and then when she was drowning, Superman had to get the Kryptonite spear that he was supposed to be weaker than Kryptonite. Fuck, that's bullshit. Batman and Wonder Woman, they had connection because they appear in some of the scenes and they talk to each other. But unfortunately, Wonder Woman never talked to Superman before the Trinity arrived to fight the Doomsday. So it came out of nowhere that these guys are working together. All of them. It just feels like a cheap way that Zack Snyder say, oh, look at them, they're the Trinity fanboys. Now you can masturbate and say, yeah, this is the best shit ever. And I'm gonna say Zack Snyder, he's not the best director for this kind of movies. Yeah, he's pretty good at action. He's pretty good at the visuals. But when he tries to do something original, like Sucker Punch, it feels very bad. And Man of Steel, despite that I thought that this movie was mediocre, at least he tried to focus on Superman. In this movie, he was all over the place. He tried to cram too many information, too much things going on. And it just came forced. And not only that, it feels like it missed something. And in the Ultimate Edition, it will just add 30 more minutes and it's gonna be R-rated. Meaning, it's gonna be either more violent or more mature. Well, in the ending, oh my god, the ending. Huge spoiler. You have been warned. You can skip to the other part of the video immediately, because I'm gonna go to the heavy spoilers. Are you ready, guys? Good. Cause here we go. Doomsday kills Superman, and Doomsday dies when Superman kills him with a spear of kryptonite. Seriously, Zack Snyder? Did you really need to also adapt a part of the storyline in the death of the Superman, one of the most popular Superman stories ever to date? He had to die so early, his adventures? Seriously, it was his second adventure. And now you decide to kill him earlier just to have a cheap ending when Batman and Diana they decide to form the Justice League. And you hear his heartbeat beating. Fuck you, Zack Snyder. Seriously. Instead of making another Man of Steel sequel, just give Superman a far more better characterization and villains and a Batman movie, which thankfully Ben Affleck's gonna focus on this, and he's gonna be good because Ben Affleck's a director, a writer, and he has Geoff John with him, so I have high hopes for these guys to make a good movie. And instead of introducing to the other characters, first of all, before Batman v Superman, you want to go to the quicker way, because I feel that this movie is rushing toward the Justice League, and you want to reach Marvel's success and money. You know why Marvel succeed? Do you want to know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because they planned it from the very beginning. They introduced Iron Man. They introduced all the other characters before the Avengers. And when the Avengers happened, we all knew the characters. We all care for the characters. Here, in this DC extended universe, we only know Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, a little bit of Wonder Woman, and maybe some of the side characters, and that's it. That's how much I know about the characters. Sorry. This universe just feels very forced, rushed, and it doesn't really explain very well. It's incoherence. And you decide to do it in a very cheap of way. So we can wait the next year of Justice League. No. That's terrible writing, terrible execution. Zack Snyder, you're not a good director for this. Sorry. You're good at action. I like you in 300s. I like you in the Dawn of Dead. I thought you did okay in The Legend of Ga'Hoole. Sucker Punch, you were terrible. But at least in Man of Steel you tried. Here, you just said, screw it. I'm just gonna take some elements of Dark Knight Returns. I'm just gonna do this. I'm just hiring in a force to do this, try to establish a huge universe in a 2.5 hours movie, and then we're just gonna put an extended 30 minutes so we can make a 3 hours to try to expand the universe as best as possible, and then voila, here's your movie. No, Zach, it doesn't work in the way you want it. But I'm gonna say all the actors try their best. And since I don't want to really talk too much about it, and I explain as best as I can everything that you all need to know. Batman v Superman is a bad movie. It's a good movie only if you ignore the plot, the characters, the coherence. Just focus on the action and visual effects. Aside from Doomsday special effects, which were pretty shitty. If you want only good visuals and action, this movie is perfect for you. Because if you want to take this movie serious, because this is what the movie is supposed to be today, to take the superhero genre seriously and be realistic as possible. No, ignore this movie. Watch it because Ben Affleck shows you that he's an awesome Batman. And Wonder Woman, she had potential. And Henry Cavill, he's improved from the role, but still due to the source material that he had, now the movie is bad. Lex Luthor, stay away from him. Seriously. If he doesn't get improved in the next sequel, he's a bad choice. So it's a huge mess. It is trying to establish too much things, and it does a little job to do. And so my rating for this movie is 4 out of 10. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching this movie review. Make sure to like, subscribe to my channel, and I'm ready to hear some hate comments from the DC fanboys. So I'm ready to defend myself. God save us all. Have a good day.